Hey besties. I'm waiting for this video for my shell challenge to export here, but I wanted to show you guys this. I bought this. I am making a video of myself, actually a few, over on TikTok though. So make sure you guys check out my TikTok. It's the same as my YouTube channel account name as well too. I had a lot of fun. I made a huge mess and I got heavy whipping cream in my hair, so enjoy that. The lighting in here is terrible today, so please bear with me. I only have one selfie light and I'm using it for another project right now. Let's get into it. So this is a speed build that I did for Cimarella's channel over on YouTube. I will link her channel in the comments. This was a lot of fun, first of all. It was definitely a challenge. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this shell, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like something kind of easier because it's like a tiny build. And then I also like failed to realize that the center of it is a cutout. So there's like actually not like a room in the center. It's like open. So I did stare at this quite a bit before I started this build. I really racked my brain. As you saw, I'll put a few pieces of furniture like outside. I kind of do that in these builds to see, you know, measure the space just by like putting items in them so I know like what will fit in them. I really regret doing the terrain tool first because as I was building, it kept like moving the camera up and then moving the camera down. So that was kind of a pain. I struggled quite a bit with this roof piece. I did know that I wanted to make it clear. And then that way, the sun was going to shine down in it. My first thought was like, oh, like I'm just going to make it like an open like area where you just go between the rooms. But you'll kind of see what I did with it. I love the way that it turned out. I wanted to roof the rest of this. But the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, well, it just kind of like doesn't go with like the underground kind of thing. I think if I was to build this particular bomb shelter, I would have like moved it underground. So then that way you'd have to take like a ladder down or something. But I just kind of like improvised with the terrain tool. I used, so with this challenge, you could only use like one expansion pack, one kit, and then like one game pack. So I picked Strangerville. I also picked the industrial kit as well too. And then I also did like I did another game pack as well in this as well too, I think. Oh, the expansion pack that I used, I don't remember what I used. I'll put everything down in the comment section below. I'm having like, oh, eco living. I did eco lifestyles, like eco living as well too, because I thought that it would have some really good like things that I could put in this build. So this is actually like a bomb shelter is what I ended up doing. So like the vibes of this are, it's been used, maybe it's like after the nuclear war or after the apocalypse. I'm totally seeing this place as being like raided by nuclear zombies. So that first room that you see in there that I'm working on, that's kind of like the decontamination room. So like if you are either entering this building like after the nuclear war, or if you have to leave to go get like supplies or whatever it may be, like this is where you would kind of take off like your hazmat suit and shower off and dispose of everything in there. And then of course, because like you have the decontamination room, there is a shower in there, but there's also like a separate shower I put like in this room as well too. Obviously you can't shower in the hazmat room like regularly for hygiene purposes because you don't want to like get nuclear waste on you. So yeah, so my thoughts on this were, okay, like the nuclear war happened, there were a few people that came down here to stay, and then maybe like somehow the zombies got in, I guess you could say, and they've fled this and they've abandoned this bomb shelter here. So this is kind of like the garden area that has like the open, the clear roof part on it. In the description, I say like it's 16 thick pane glass that kind of allows the inhabitants of this bomb shelter to experience like the outside world with like being safe and not exactly going outside. So then that way, like, they can soak in sunshine, they can pretend like that they're outdoors and that, it's not the end of times. That poster here, on the wall, it kind of reminds me of like Lara Croft, video games like from the early 2000s. I wish that they would come out with another Tomb Raider. That would be freaking awesome. I loved that game so much when it came out for the original PlayStation. But here I am, like, individually placing a few items, like, on this shelf here. I just wanted to kind of make it look junky and lived in. I'm not sure what swatch that wallpaper is, but it is disgusting looking. So the kitchen... I struggled a little bit with this kitchen. I'd put in that wood burning stove at first, and then I thought, ooh, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was thinking like real life scenarios, like, what am I gonna do for like ventilation purposes? So you see me mess around like with this, these vents, these air vents here, and I'm like, okay, like, if I have like a wood burning stove, because I was thinking, okay, we're probably not gonna have electricity underground, or we're probably not gonna have natural resources like gas. So I was thinking like, okay, like wood burning, we're gonna need ventilation. So I played around like a little bit like with these vents. I didn't end up keeping them because I just kind of felt like they blocked the view. I don't think it would be such a big deal like if you were looking at this build for like aesthetic reasons, but like to actually like play in this build, they would have definitely been in the way, especially like with the way the terrain like pushes your camera up. You would probably have to like, it'd be hard to interact with any items in that kitchen. The chairs, I play tested this. I did end up deleting like one of those chairs after I brought my sim here to play test it because they couldn't get into the refrigerator to cook. But yeah, just kind of like a basic kitchen. I did like outside on this patio area behind here because Cimarilla said like we couldn't move the patios, we couldn't delete the patios. So I thought, okay, like I'll just put I'll just put like a generator and like a water collector out there. Now that I'm thinking about it, you probably don't want to drink the condensated water that's in that. It's probably like has like nuclear waste in it, I'm sure. But then I also put the solar panel out there as well too. But yeah, those little green swatches from Strangerville, I love them. They also come in like this white color and then this red color, which I use a lot to make it look like blood stains on the walls, like in my spooky builds. So I did do some of the white splotches like out there in that outdoor area. I did put a listening station in here as well too, because I thought, okay, like if you're trapped underground, you're probably not going to have like a way to like communicate with the outside world if there are other survivors, or maybe you'll like want to listen to like emergency broadcast systems that maybe the government has, or just kind of keep an ear out if it's like safe to come out of your bomb shelter or what have you. Now that like I think about it, it's kind of scary to think that like places like this actually exist today and then like existed like when our grandparents were alive. My great grandparents, their house is no longer there, but they had a bomb shelter in their house as well too. There was like an old bunk bed down there. Now I'm sure they'll deny that it was actually a bomb shelter, but there were like full on bunk beds and like shelves down there with like canned goods and everything. I think they like didn't want people to think that they were like paranoid about it, but I mean, if I had the money and the resources right now, I would probably build a bomb shelter. Just saying. I thought that the wall in the kitchen looked kind of empty, so I put those shelves on there and added a little bit of clutter to it as well too. I put those little rocks out there. I wanted to put like, you'll see me, I think, like try to do like more landscaping and put more outside. But the way that I did the terrain, like a lot of stuff would like float in the air. Like part of it would be like on the landscape, and then part of it was like floating in the air. So it just wasn't in the cards for this build, unfortunately. So I put a little chair and a side table out here so you can soak up some sun rays. And there's the trash can. I totally forgot the trash can in the kitchen. But I put little tree decals and then like little bunny decals on the wall as well too, just to give it like that outdoor feeling, so it doesn't feel like you're trapped like, you know, hundreds of feet underground. And then I did the clouds in the sky just to make it feel like more authentic and outdoorsy. It is actual terrain there, but I just like to pretend like it's green turf that they put down there. I went into the debug menu here. I'm not exactly, I was just kind of looking for like some random objects in the Strangerville debug stuff is so cool. I just couldn't use any of it because of that terrain. I put this little nozzle here, like in the decontamination room. I wish that it was an object that actually like worked, and that maybe it comes in the Strangerville pack, but maybe like your sim walks up to it and then like it kind of like sprays a puff of air or something and like decontaminates you. I probably said decontaminate like 1,000 times already. Um, so I'm just going in and adding a few finishing touches here in the bedroom. Of course, I did like the dated newspaper, like on the walls, like as the wallpaper. I thought it was like super fitting. Maybe it has like old news articles about the impending nuclear apocalypse, or, you know, those things. I do try to put some candles on this end table, and then I like got really distracted, and I think I found something that I wanted to put like, yeah, and I wanted to put that item, like I found it like in the clutter menu when I was looking at candles, and I got really distracted, and I was like, oh, that would look really cool in the bathroom, and then never went back to the build to put candles in it. But I played around a little bit more with the terrain just to kind of hide the building a little bit better. I wanted it to blend in like a little bit more, just to look like more authentic, but I really couldn't find anything that like wouldn't float. I even tried to like smush down some of the terrain there in the back, where like you enter through the back, to see if I could put anything else there, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. I wanted to do like a more flat roof. I'm not great at roofing. If you guys have like a better idea where I could make that glass roof like a little flatter instead of like at an angle, that would be great. Point me in the direction. But so I brought Beans here to play test this, and Johnny Zest showed up as a part of the welcoming party, and I have the extreme violence mod installed, so she killed him. So that's what that blood stain is right there. So now that we're done with the build, I'm gonna go ahead and give you like a quick tour. So this first room here obviously is a decontamination room. That's a little poster on the wall that tells you, like, I'm assuming, like, how to either put your hazmat suit on or how to take it off properly without causing like any cross-contamination. There's like that little decorative nozzle on the wall, and then of course there's the shower as well too behind me. Right there. I really wanted to use like the shower from the university pack, but the challenge was you had to have like one expansion pack, one game, and then one kit, so I didn't end up using it. Here is the bathroom. I loved how it turns out. It looks so gross. I put like the little containers there on the wall as well too, like the little hazmat containers, I guess, that would have like nuclear waste on them. And then here's a little sunroom with a little sitting chair. Oh, and a little garden so you could like plant your own food as well too, because obviously you can't go out and grow it actually like outside, so I put a little planter box in there. Yeah. Here's the kitchen. I love this. Also, Beans, when I play tested this, Beans left a dirty plate here. Underneath of the blueprints there. And then here is the bedroom. I figure that maybe like if this was like a little bit of a larger build, you'd probably have like more bunk beds or something in here, so there could be more than 2 people in here. I would just assume it's probably like a single person maybe, and they have a second bunk just in case. Here's the outdoor area. Has a little generator, a water collector, and then the solar panel as well too. So yeah, I did give this lot traits as well. I did private dwelling because it's like, you know, you don't want anyone else to know that you're here. I also made it a science layer and then a natural well. So then like you don't need the water collector per se. Like you could probably like source well water for drinking water as well too. So this was Cimarella's challenge. So this description is, this is assuming lump of sand is a secret bomb shelter. Once you enter through the decontamination room, you must remove all of your protective gear and dispose of your garments. There is a garden room complete with 16 thick pane glass where you can safely soak in the sun's ray without fear of radiation and plant a garden for food. Complete with bunk beds so you can bring along a friend and wait out the nuclear war. I uploaded this to the gallery. My gallery ID name is catsandcoffee_87. Thanks so much for coming along on this speed build today, guys. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post videos. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.